You're sitting on your couch after a long day. You pull out your phone and open a delivery app. You're not even hungry. But you scroll anyway. Your thumb moves on its own. 20 minutes later, you're eating something you didn't need, watching something you don't care about, feeling strangely hollow. You tell yourself you just lack willpower. You tell yourself you should be better than this. But the real answer is far stranger than a simple failure of self-control. The machinery that just hijacked your evening wasn't designed by a malicious app developer. It was designed 300,000 years ago on the African savanna, by a force far more relentless than any algorithm. That machinery is still running inside your skull right now, mistaking a food delivery notification for a patch of ripe berries, and mistaking social approval for survival itself. To understand why you feel this constant, nagging pull toward more, you have to rewind the tape of human history. For 99% of our existence, we lived as hunter-gatherers. The world was not a place of abundance. It was a place of radical, terrifying scarcity. Sugar didn't come in a packet. It came wrapped in a fibrous, guarded fortress of fruit that was only available for a few weeks a year. Fat didn't come in a deep fryer. It came from a dangerous, sprinting animal that could kill you with a kick to the skull. Your brain's primary operating system was forged in this crucible of not enough. And in that world, a simple rule kept your ancestors alive. See a high-calorie reward, and consume as much of it as you possibly can, as fast as you can, because tomorrow it will be gone. The neuroscientist Kent Berridge at the University of Michigan has spent decades mapping this ancient machinery. He separates wanting from liking. They run on two different brain circuits. The liking system is tiny, fragile, and easily satisfied. It's a few cubic centimeters of hedonic hotspots that say, "This is pleasant." The wanting system is a massive dopamine-driven engine that screams, "Get more, do it now, don't stop." And here's the terrifying part. The wanting system never, ever turns off. It just attaches itself to the next cue. This is the ghost of the savannah haunting your kitchen at midnight. Your brain doesn't release the bulk of its dopamine when you get the reward. It releases it when you anticipate the reward. The ding of the notification, the smell of the fries, the glow of the screen. That's the ancient signal that says, a valuable resource is near, pursue it. Once you actually take a bite, the dopamine plummets. The satisfaction lasts seconds. The craving, however, can last a lifetime. Researchers at the Oregon Research Institute used brain scans to show that when you see a picture of a milkshake, the same neural reward centers light up that would light up in an addict's brain when they see their drug of choice. But your brain isn't just addicted to food. It's using the exact same ancient hardware to process a new kind of threat and a new kind of starvation. Social starvation. Imagine you are a hominid living in a band of 150 individuals. You are utterly dependent on this group. If they exile you, you are dead. Not metaphorically dead. Literally eaten by a hyena within 48 hours. So your brain evolved a biological emergency system. Social pain. When you feel rejected, isolated, or judged, your brain activates the dorsal anterior cingulate cortex. That's the same region that activates when you stub your toe or burn your hand. The psychologist Naomi Eisenberger at UCLA demonstrated this beautifully. She put people in a brain scanner and had them play a simple ball-tossing game. When the other virtual players stopped passing the ball to the subject, their brains reacted as if they had been physically struck. To your ancient brain, a lack of likes isn't just a bruised ego, it's a survival threat. It's the tribe turning their backs on you. It's the hyenas circling in the dark. Now, take that biological emergency system and connect it to a device in your pocket that quantifies social approval with mathematical precision. You post a photo, you wait. A notification arrives. Someone liked it. Dopamine squirts into your nucleus accumbens. You are safe. The tribe accepts you. But the feeling fades in minutes. So you check again. You post again. You are no longer a human seeking connection. You are a mammal trying to regulate its nervous system by harvesting digital reassurance. The anthropologist Robin Dunbar famous for discovering the Dunbar number of social relationships, argues that language evolved as a form of social grooming. We used to pick fleas off each other's backs. Now we send each other heart emojis. But the volume is broken. You can now perform social grooming 24 hours a day with thousands of people. And it still won't feel like enough because the brain is comparing it to the intimacy of a campfire circle. This mismatch creates a unique modern phenomenon, the high-status anxiety loop. In the ancestral environment, there was no such thing as a global hierarchy. You just had to be a decent hunter or a good storyteller to feel valuable. You didn't know about the better spearmaker 3 valleys over. Today, you are constantly exposed to the most beautiful, successful, wealthy humans on the planet. Your brain interprets this as a status threat. It sees a curated image of a stranger on a yacht and thinks, I am falling behind in the tribe. I am losing rank, danger. This triggers cortisol, the stress hormone. Cortisol makes you crave high-calorie food to prepare for the physical struggle your brain thinks is coming. It makes you seek immediate pleasure to soothe the existential discomfort. And so the loop closes. Social media triggers status anxiety. Status anxiety triggers cortisol. Cortisol triggers junk food cravings. And the junk food triggers more dopamine, which temporarily masks the anxiety, until the next scroll resets the entire cycle. But the most deceptive trick your ancient brain plays on you is the concept of enough. The brain did not evolve to be happy. It evolved to survive. And a happy, contented animal that stops striving is an animal that gets outcompeted. The neuroscientist Jaak Panksepp identified 7 core emotional systems in the mammalian brain. Seeking is the most powerful. It's the exploratory drive, the foraging instinct, the itch to discover. When you scroll endlessly through a feed, you are not relaxing, you are foraging. Your seeking system is fully engaged, looking for the next juicy piece of information, the next predator in the grass, the next opportunity. The problem is that the digital world has no boundaries. The savannah had a clear edge, the forest ended, the sun set, the berries ran out. The internet is an infinite, bottomless pit of novelty. Your seeking system was designed for a finite world. In an infinite world, it becomes a torture device. It will drive you to scroll until your eyes burn, because it has no biological off switch for enough information. This is why your brain feels like it's on fire half the time. It's not broken. It's operating exactly as designed, but in a zoo. The psychologist Robert Cialdini calls this the click-whir response. Just as a mother turkey will mother anything that makes the cheep sound of her chicks, even a stuffed polecat, your brain will execute its ancient survival programs whenever it encounters a supernormal stimulus. A supernormal stimulus is an exaggerated, artificial version of a natural trigger. A strawberry in nature is a small, tart thing. A strawberry-flavored candy is a concentrated explosion of sugar, color, and flavor that outshines anything in the natural world. Your brain responds to it not with moderation, but with a frantic, I have found the mother lode, consume everything. The modern food industry, the social media industry, the gaming industry, they are all built on this principle. They are creating supernormal stimuli that hijack your click-whir responses. You are not weak for being addicted to your phone. You are a biological creature facing a technological super predator that has evolved over a decade to exploit a brain that evolved over millions of years. And perhaps the cruelest illusion is the feeling that you are in control. You believe your conscious mind is the CEO of your body. It is not. It is a press secretary. It wakes up after the decision has already been made by the emotional ancient circuits and invents a story about why you wanted that cookie. The neuroscientist Benjamin Libet showed this decades ago. His experiment suggested that the brain initiates a motor action milliseconds before you have the conscious experience of deciding to act. While the interpretation of free will from these studies is debated, the underlying architecture is clear. The fast, automatic, emotional brain acts first. The slow, rational, conscious brain justifies it later. That moment when you find yourself reaching for your phone without thinking, that's the real you, the primitive, survival-oriented, dopamine-seeking mammal. The voice that says, "I'm just going to check my email quickly," is the press secretary, making up a logical reason for a deeply illogical ancient impulse. So here you sit, on your couch, a creature of infinite craving, trapped in a world of infinite supply. Your brain screams scarcity, while your environment screams abundance. Your dopamine circuits scream more, while your opioid circuits whisper, "This isn't actually that good." Your social brain screams, "You are being left out," while your rational brain knows you are seeing a filtered highlight reel. You are not failing at being a modern human. You are a Pleistocene human, with a Pleistocene operating system, trying to navigate a world that would look like black magic to your ancestors. The anxiety, the addiction, the craving, the endless, restless scrolling. This is not a malfunction. This is the sound of a 300,000-year-old survival machine doing exactly what it was told to do, in a world it was never meant to see. And that hollow feeling you get after you close the app isn't a sign that you did something wrong. It's the ghost of your ancient self, standing on the savannah at dusk, looking at a sunset that signals the end of the foraging day, wondering why you are still holding a glowing rock, and quietly realizing that the berries you just ate didn't come from a bush. They came from a delivery driver named Steve, and the tribe you were trying to impress doesn't even know your name.